WOD 1 RX Hairband, a 12-minute air map of 80 ground overhead, 80 pull-ups, 80 thrusters, 80 toe to bar, and 80 burpee box jump overs. The box will be set up like so, with a male bar and a female bar, 95 pounds and 65 pounds. One box will be placed in the middle. Athletes will start in an on-deck box and step out onto the floor at the call of 3, 2, 1, go. They will be allowed to do their ground to overhead as a clean and jerk, or they can do that as a snatch as well, as long as the bar goes from the ground to overhead at full extension. When athletes switch, they will step out of the box and transition. For the pull-ups, strict, kipping, or butterfly are all allowed, as long as the chin gets over the bar and we reach full extension at the bottom. On the thruster, full depth in the squat to full overhead extension. Toe to bar. Make sure that you always have your feet inside of your hands and you get your feet back behind you at full extension. On the burpee box jump over, chest must touch and you must hop with 2 feet over the box. It cannot be a step over. If you are an athlete who needs to transition and switch the box, male, female, for example, it will be your responsibility to tip or tip back over the box for the person coming behind you. WOD 1 Scale. Swing your partner round and round. This 12-minute air map is very similar to the RX athletes, where you'll have a setup with 2 barbells and 1 box in the middle, a male bar and a female bar. One athlete will step out from the on-deck circle and start their movement first, which is the shoulder to overhead. The athlete will pick up the bar, start with either a strict press, which is no legs, a push press, or a push jerk. Now the push press and push jerk, you are able to use your legs to dip and drive. That's something that we allow here on this piece. As long as you reach full extension, those reps will count. Now in the ring row, toes on the line, dropping back, pulling all the way to your chest. Got to reach full extension at the bottom of this rep. You can bend your knees if need be, but again, reaching full extension of the arm and touching the hands to the chest. On the step up, you must alternate legs, reaching full extension, standing all the way up at the top of the box, and getting both feet down at the bottom. 2 feet on top, 2 feet at the bottom. 20-inch box for all athletes. You don't need to worry about transitioning that box. On the burpee, chest to deck, jumping up, and jumping with your hands above your head. Now this one's pretty straightforward, but we will allow you to step up and step back down to the burpee. This will allow athletes with a little bit more limited mobility to be able to get this movement done. So we're stepping back and stepping back up. WOD 2 RX Triple Threat. Time cap 10 minutes, finding a 3-rep max front squat from the floor. Score is cumulative total between all 4 team members. Both guys working on one bar, both guys working on the other bar. You will have plenty of weight within your station, pair of 10s for each partnership, pair of 15s, pair of 25s, pair of 35s, pair of 45s. We've also put a couple extra pairs of 45s in each lane, some 5s, some 2.5s. We will really make sure everyone has everything they need there. The smallest increment you'll be able to jump is a 2.5-pound plate. As you pull up the bar, you can power clean it and then start your front squats, descending below parallel and standing up to full extension. Or if you're going fast and you want to get right into that squat, you're more than welcome to go ahead and squat clean that first rep, passing all the way below parallel and standing tall. That would count as 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you struggle with mobility and you get that bar up to the top, as long as it stays in front rack position, you can complete your set of 3. So for example, if you complete 1 rep and you have to go to that crossover grip, You are more than welcome to complete the last 2 and 3. WOD 2 scaled. Opa. 8 minutes on the clock, 90 seconds per person with a 30-second transition. Each athlete gets a chance to do as many reps as possible on each plate. You're taking the plate from the ground to overhead, one person in the square at a time. 10, 15, 25, 35, and 45-pound plates will be in the square. Athletes will take the plate from the ground to overhead, touching one edge of the plate and then taking it all the way overhead. They must reach full extension at the top overhead, and again, only one portion of the plate has to touch at the bottom. Tipping and moving that plate is totally fine. As you transition, set the plate down, please don't throw it down, and then we're going to be able to transition right back into the next plate, getting 10 reps done. Once you get to the final 45, it will be a max rep set. WOD 3, the Gauntlet. Athletes will work for 2 minutes at each station, accumulating as many reps as possible across the entire workout. We will set up like so with the rower, wall ball, jump rope, dumbbells, and rope in each lane. Males will start first. The rower must start at 0. You can transition whenever you'd like. On the wall ball, you must pass below parallel and get the ball to the target each time. The top black line is the target for males, and the middle green line is the target for females. 20-pound, 14-pound ball. Double unders. The rope must pass under you twice. If the rope stops in front of your feet, the rep doesn't count. If the rope stops behind your feet, the rep counts. On the dumbbell snatch, from the ground to overhead in one motion. Now, getting to full extension at the top and switching hands wherever you'd like on the way back down. Doesn't matter to me, it can be face level or below, but touching both heads of the dumbbell to the floor. When you get to the rope climb, it doesn't matter to me whether you go from a standing position and pull yourself straight up, or if you want to go ahead and go for that big old jump to get yourself up, that works as well. As long as you get all the way to the top and touch the beam with one hand, you can make yourself all the way back down. WOD 3, scaled, the Gauntlet. Similar to the RX athletes, 2 minutes at each station, accumulating as many reps as possible. Starting on the rower, males will start with a 0 screen and get as many reps, transitioning when they like. On the air squat, you must get all the way below parallel, standing all the way tall at the top of every single rep. The single under. Similar to the double under, if the rope stops in front of your feet, the rep doesn't count. But if the rope stops behind your feet, the rep counts. On the hanging knee raise, feet must get behind you or behind the plane of the bar, and knees must be above your hip. On the ground to overhead, single arm, the other arm is not allowed to help during the working portion. You can clean and jerk like so, taking it to the shoulder and overhead, or you can go with that dumbbell snatch like the RX athletes are doing earlier. Either way, both heads of the dumbbell must touch the floor, taking it from the ground to overhead. Again, the other hand cannot help you. You must take it with one arm, all the way overhead. WOD 4, floater, Old McDonald's bad day. This one's relay style. One athlete starts on the bike, completes their 25 cals, and then goes right into their relay. Bike must start at 0. Kettlebells are the first option. Dumbbells are the second option. D-balls are the third option. And then big handle farmer carries are the fourth option. One athlete does each option.